4.0 tomorrow. It means that our entrepreneurs, they can also continue in using their machine as they are, but they can apply on the machine sensors in order to get information. Think about, if I have a used machine that is already depreciated, from the fixed cost point of view, I have a huge advantage. I do not have to change the machine just because I have to be Industry 4.0. I can put a lot of sensor on the machine, and then I can give the machine a new life, but I can have a lot of information. Here is an old machine used from Bosch, so I'm talking about more than 125 years ago. I would like to show you how you can, what does it mean what I say to you. It's much better to have with a video. What could be a way to Industry 4.0 also with an old machine? Let's have a look together.
So, Michael, what are we able to do today so much better than in earlier times?
You know, today we have the internet, we have Industry 4.0, we have the industrial Internet of Things, and we can make machines connected. Yeah? You know, back then the process, I mean, this process is pretty simple. Yeah? So nowadays our machines are much more complex. Okay. And with the help of Industry 4.0, we can make data more transparent and we can optimize our processes. Yeah?
Even with that machine over there?
Even with, wait a sec, even with that machine over there.
Okay, now how are you going to go about doing that?
With our Bosch Rexroth IoT Gateway.
Oh, okay.
That's the bridge between automation and IT world. That brings this existing old machine up to today. Yeah? So we have built in some sensors also here in this lab, for example over there, and they are connected to the gateway, and the gateway receives data from the sensor and makes information out of it.
So maybe Antonio, I can start the machine one more time. And now, we are receiving data. Where does it go?
Now, this information that we receive now and that we make in real time, we send it over to upper level IT systems. Okay. So here we have a simple, nice looking web server which is on the gateway, showing us, for example, already the speed of our lathe.
Okay, so, but of course our customers are asking themselves the question, what do I get out of it? What is my benefit?
Yeah, you know, now you're able to easily connect legacy machines to the industrial Internet of Things.
Okay, so you can actually supervise the process in real time now, right?
Yes, you can.
And therefore reduce downtime and increase productivity.
And it's also very economical. Yeah, because actually it's very simple. We don't change the program. Yeah, we don't change the program of Antonia and Yannick. No, it's not needed. Yeah.
Okay.
And you can keep your existing machines. Yeah. Because machines you use for decades. Yeah. Sometimes. So use your existing machines, but you have the new methods of connected industry here.
And just to ask one more time, all we need is the IoT gateway and some sensors. That's it.
Exactly. From the machine side, you have the IoT gateway, some sensors, and you connect the sensors to our IoT gateway. You connect maybe existing PLCs, and then you plug in the Ethernet cable to the gateway, and then there you are. You just configure it. So you need not automation know-how. Electricians can do that. IT people can do that. Even Kai could do it.
So it's clear that this was coming from Bosch, but all the other competitors or whatever, they can provide sensors and whatever. So, and here it's really interesting. We can use old assets, let the machine talking with us, and optimize its also old products. Here, if you have a look here, this is my factory. For those of you who are familiar with lean manufacturing, you know that one of the basics of lean manufacturing is transparent visualization. It means that you have to put on a board the data so that everyone on the shop floor understands what we are doing. But this was somehow a little stupid because I used engineers to write and to make analysis. But is it a good thing to study a lot just to make Excel file or to put together data? Is that the task of you, professor, or the students who are here? I don't think so. It's much better to have data automatically, to have algorithms, and to have already the trend automatically. You see what is over there. the left side is 2 years ago. The right side is today. So I put in a lot of sensor without investing a lot of money. A lot of sensor on the line. I add algorithm, and the data that were important to me, losses, actions, where I have to go, they are coming automatically from algorithm. Of course, I use the brain of my engineer in understanding how to put together the data scientist. So not only mechanical guys, but they have to understand how to put together. And also the way of using algorithm. Today, if you go in the internet, there are a huge amount of algorithm that can give you a chance. By doing that, I've saved, just to give you numbers, 3 persons per shift, that I'm using to make maintenance and predictive maintenance. I have not fired people. I just moved from not value-added activity to other value-added activity. It means that I gain a productivity that is almost 10%. So this is a way of doing things. So after 2 years working in Italy, what we would like to say in Federmeccanica is you can think big, but start small. It means you have to understand which is your future in 5–10 years, but you can also start applying the technology step by step. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of changing everything. This is not the task. It's not necessary, but it is necessary to understand where you would like to go in some years. And the technology, then you have also to understand which is the technology necessary for you. And from that point of view, we have also having in Italy a lot of consultants who are making a lot of damages because they just go to the internet, okay, you have to be Industry 4.0 ready. And then they say, what is it? It's much more important that we understand what they have to do. And here also the university in Italy, we are trying to talk with the university to say, please make a good job in that understanding also the companies what is necessary, what could be the right technology. Until here, the approach. I would like just to give you some spots about other implications. Work organization, worldwide initiative, business model and application, cybersecurity. Just some spots. It's clear that the introduction of the new technologies are going to change the working condition. More and more, our workers will be loaded with hard work. This will be done from machines, of course. So also the blue collar, they have to go to some decision tasks. They have also to integrate with the robot. So we have to change. And also from that point of view, the school has to change. We have to also to train and to motivate people in using the new technology. Of course, a political topic will be that by using machines, we will have the increasing of working life. Today in Italy we discuss about when we should go in pension. When I talk in 20 years, it will be not less than 17, because also in the factory we will have leaner working condition and we will be able to work more. It's a matter of fact. Also the organization. Our organization today, they are really somehow well defined, but if you will have connected things, also our organization, the responsibility of the department will be not so easy as per today. Department, design, quality, whatever. It will be changed. Flexibility in jobs contract. We are discussing in Italy today about the national contract. Hey guys, tomorrow maybe it will be not a working place. So I mean, I will not work just here. I will work on several positions. I will work for 4 hours or whatever. So a lot of implication of job words. And also here we have to study about. And here also the learning, innovative form of learning. So here we have also to understand, maybe we have to learn also staying close to the production line. I have to use iPad, I have to use web-based training. So it's another world. Maintenance, planning. We have already in BOSCH experience where we can coordinate maintenance from Germany to China or whatever. We just put the camera over there and we can work with the operator directly. There is a sort of competence center where we can deal directly. Can you imagine that? And it's really running, colleagues, it's really running. Yeah. Of course, all these things are really difficult to let them getting in a small and medium business, as it could be also here in Spain. When we talk among us, the big company, it's more or less easy. But how can a small company understand that they have really to change the puzzle and to understand which is the best technology for them? How can they put together synergies to have optimized along the value stream? It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. But it has to be done. You have to optimize your company, but also which is your supplier and which is your customer. No way around it. Here, there are a couple of schools around the world. There is a school who says that the introduction of Industry 4.0 robot will kill a lot of jobs. There is a school, where I am belonging to, that says that no way. Any innovation is also bringing a lot of new jobs. It's a matter of fact. Here are some facts and figures. In 19, looking at the United States, 41% of the employees were working in agriculture. In 2000, this 41 was becoming 2%. What happened to the jobs? Do they disappear? No. They just been transforming. Instead of having people working 8-10 hours a day in the field, they have been moving in, building new construction, making logistics and whatever. It's a matter of fact, it's not what FORGIA saying, it's history. And on top, we have also reduced the working hours. It means that every one of us has much more, when I compare now with the beginning of the century, much more free time. So new business are coming up. Think about spa, tourism, and whatever. Healthy, gym. Those are business. They were not present. And in the future, we will have much more free time, also gaining the same money as today. And there will be other new business that today we do not know. Think about agency who will arrange galactic travel. So today we arrange travel to Egypt or whatever, but someone will arrange something to go to the moon. It's just an example. So new business will come out. So we cannot define and look at the future thinking what is today. We have to open the mind. But everything will be substituted from the machine? No, no. Here I'm referring to Mr. Polami paradigm. It was an Hungarian sociologist, philosopher, and economist. He says that we know much more than we can communicate. It means that there is an unconscious part of us who is letting us to do something that you cannot communicate. Think about Maradona, think about Messi. Messi can explain me 12,000 times how to make a goal. I will never do that. Maradona can tell me, you have to do so. Never. So there is a part of our unconscious side that is doing the difference. Einstein, he can also wrote a lot of relations, say you have to do that, that and that. Also among you professors, there is something that you cannot copy. It's coming from the unconscious. So there is that part of the unconscious that we will never give to the machine. So there is always a part where the man, the lady, where the humanity will maintain his job. And think about, from you, in the educational and the healthy, think about you when you make an exam with a student. What stays in the communication channel when you look in the eyes of your student? Can a robot understand? I'm pretty sure that you can also you can understand in a few seconds if the person in front of you is really a good one or not. Think about what stays in the communication between a doctor and a people stays in the bed. Can a robot understand that? So there is always a limit that we will never overcome. And I'm pretty sure about education and about health. There is a limit. So I'm optimistic about that. Some figures. This is a study that I did with the University of Geneva. Just to give you why I'm so optimistic. Look, this is USA. The employment rate during the year. So, did you see a negative trend? No. Facts and figures. Again, here is the introduction of the robot and the unemployment rate. Here I'm also referring to this Meta-Marmet study, February 2013. You see here, apart USA, But the study says very clearly that the increasing of the robot is also reducing the unemployment. And what we have seen is that, what they have seen is that even if there is a reduction, the reduction coming, it's a small reduction, the improving, the increasing of the job related with the robot, it's much, much greater than. So also from that point of view, facts and figures. If you would like to have some more application, this is one of the best papers I've found. Here there is really a detailed analysis about the job or whatever. But coming back, you remember at the beginning of our speech, we said that Europe was saying, oh, we need Industry 4.0 because we have to relocate, we have to reshore, to inshore again. Well, but the others are not sleeping. And here, Houston, we have a problem. The others are not sleeping. China, for instance, has the China manufacturing process 2025. It means that if we are trying to make something to reduce the cost, also the others are doing the same. It means that we have to fight for an improving, worldwide improving increase of the demand. Otherwise, to fight against China, hoping that they are sleeping, it's not possible. We will see afterwards. Here, for instance, in Spain, I've seen that also in Spain there is this Industria Conectada. I had a look at it, and it appears to me to be very familiar and consistent with worldwide activities, so also here in Spain. But look here, I've been last month in China because we decided to produce one assembly line over there. It doesn't make sense to produce in Italy and then send over there. So I've been searching in China for someone making a production line. Well, I found that company. Look over there. They have cobot, they have connected things, they have everything. And that guy here was making a sort of laboratory, that is the line you see over there, to be presented to Beijing government to say, I'm ready for Industry 4.0. So, what we say at the beginning, in 2014, it's not valid. They are not sleeping. It means that the worldwide economy has to grow up. For the moment, he says, no, we're not so interested in coming in Europe because we have our demand that is going up. And they say, why it's going up? Because they say, if we will stay with the labor cost without developing, we will die. Because we know that Europe is automatizing a lot, so we have to make it. So they are not stupid, of course. They are not stupid. So for the moment, I'm optimistic because they have a so huge market that for the moment they will not come to us. But they are also reducing the labor cost. I've seen line with 7 operators, and on the other side of the room there was the same line, the same process with no operator. So they are not sleeping. Pay attention to that. And here there is a McKinsey, this study from McKinsey that also in China you see 76% of the company says that they will increase competitiveness with Industry 4.0. At the moment they say that they are not prepared for, and this is true because when I ask people, but why you are doing that, it was a little confused. Oh, we know that we have to do something against Europe, but for the moment it is not a total approach, but they are moving. They have cobot, they have everything. The sooner they will have this framework like Germany roadmap, they will be there. Business. So until now we have talked about manufacturing, but the data is business. Business, business, business. The more we go on, the more the data is business. Here I just put some examples. Rolls-Royce, for instance. Rolls-Royce since a long time is not selling anymore the engine. Rolls-Royce is renting the engine and it's getting back the data. And if you use, you pay. But the fact that today I can get a lot of data, I can also understand how you are using my engine. Because if you use my engine properly, okay, it's a rate. If you use my engine not in a so proper way, you have to pay. Then I can make also scheduling of manufacturing, I can make whatever you want. Bosch service, the car, the Tesla for instance. We are working with Tesla, you know Tesla. So we are today in condition of knowing exactly when I have to make maintenance. So it's not at 20,000 kilometers. Why? I look at the car and then I see when I have to go there. The Tesla is like an engine. I can also optimize the Tesla according to your driving feeling, but you have to pay for that. If you would like, I can make it smoothie, I can make it sporty, whatever, and then you pay another service coming from data. Data, data, data. Smart city, healthy. So data is becoming more and more important, and you will see also the essence of property will be losing during the years. Why I have to have a car? Why? The car is just to be moved from one point to the other one. Unless I would like to have emotion. Emotion could be a Porsche, could be a Ferrari, but this is another field. So until I have to buy emotion, then it's okay. But think about why I have to have a car, a bicycle, or whatever. I pay for what I use. But to do that, I need data. To do that, I need sensors. To do that, I need real-time data. To do that, I have trends. Easy. So from industry, we are going to go to other business. Smart cities. I can regulate in the cities, power generation and whatever. So it's a huge, huge world that it's open. Let me touch, almost at the end, one big topic, that is cybersecurity. It's clear that if things talk each other, we will have a new form of terrorism. Easy. Because if things talk each other, I can enter and I can make a bridge. I can enter in an airplane system, I can enter here, and I can make a huge damages. Here I just put 3 examples, but you can have a lot of more. In July 2015, more than 1.4 million vehicles from Fiat Chrysler, they were recalled back. Because some scientists, some academics, they found the way of entering into the system of Fiat and having the possibility of breaking the car or not breaking the car. They just sent an email to say, hey guys, we are in condition of doing that. It was just a test, but they entered. If they would have been terrorists, and they come into with the Navi system. Then you know in December 2015 what happened in Ukraine, this electric power plant that was stopped, and more than 200,000 persons, they stayed for a long time without energy. At that time, they say that was a Russian act, I don't know. But they demonstrated they can come in and let 200,000 people stay. And then, April 2017, so some months ago, you know what happened all over the world with this ransomware. So cybersecurity is a huge topic. It's a huge topic that you have to study. We have to understand how to make firewall to avoid that instead of bomb, we could have, when we talk about bomb, but then we will see there is also a business behind that. You can make a lot of business with that. So cybersecurity is a topic. Here are just some numbers. Those are the damages that we had